Hi, Gabor Maté. My name is Sammy,
Hi.
and something I tell people is from your from your pain you find your truth, and from your truth you find your power. And I resonate very deeply with your truth, so much so that I can feel it in my body right now as I'm speaking to you. I grew up in such a manner where the people around me are still in financially desperate situations, and it's clear they have a lot of trauma, um, trauma that I still carry as well. And one thing that I feel is very guilty that I'm in this privileged setting, working on myself and healing, and the people back home are still in that environment.
You feel guilty.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, okay?
Hmm.
I'm quite privileged,
Hmm.
I've had a good medical career, I've got good education, successful in significant areas of life. Tell me why I should feel guilty. Tell me why I am guilty.
I don't think you should feel guilty,
Well,
but
wait a minute. Tell me why I am guilty.
because you have to figure out a way to compartmentalize.
Because what?
You have to figure out a way to compartmentalize the problems that are happening with others.
Why am I guilty?
Because you have the privilege to.
Why does that make me guilty?
Because it's a systematic thing that you were privileged enough to be in a situation and
Yeah,
offer the.
but okay. But why am I guilty? I understand that I'm privileged. I'm asking why I'm guilty. Would you accuse me, by the way?
No, I mean,
You wouldn't accuse me, is that right?
no, I wouldn't.
But you're accusing yourself.
That's a wonderful point.
Do you notice the difference? That's the first question I ask, okay? So notice the double standard.
Yeah.
That you're willing to be, and I bet you wouldn't accuse anybody else either, only yourself. So out of 600 people in this room, there's 509 in innocence and one guilty party, and that happens to be you. So just notice that, okay? Just be curious about it. It's a very interesting dynamic, isn't it? Number one. Number two, tell me when in your life you have not felt guilty.
When I went through a hard experience and I don't know, I overcame it. And
But as a child, did you feel guilty?
no.
Yes?
When have I felt guilty as a child?
Is guilt something that you knew as a child? Or did it
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you develop, when you were a child, were you privileged?
No.
So your guilt has nothing to do with your privilege. You've had it long before. Do you know why you felt guilty? I can tell you one answer. Might be better if you discovered it in therapy, but I can give you my answer. But if you'd like to know my answer, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
Because people around you suffered, and children are narcissists. They think it's all about them. That's their nature. When I say narcissist, I don't mean in a pathological sense. I mean the child really thinks it's all about me. So when people around me are happy and thriving, oh, I must be a good guy. But if my parents are suffering, if people around me are unhappy, guess whose fault it is?
Yeah.
So my friend, you've been carrying this guilt since you were a small kid. Time to work on it. Give it up.
Thank you.
Now, the fact that you got privilege doesn't absolve your responsibility, but that's different from guilt. Now, you and I have the responsibility to give back to the world, to try and make this world a better place, to do what we can within our capacities to help others, to make this place less painful than it would be if we weren't active in it. That's responsibility, but that's not guilt, okay?
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.